Now, from our findings, there are problems in the Office of the Head of Service as regards management of pension funds. There are problems in the Police Pension Fund. The task force or the task team set up to also go and look at these things also have problems. What will you advocate to be the solution to the problems of pension management and administration in Nigeria? How do we ensure that we have a proper system that is efficient and effective and fraud-free?
Thank you, distinguished. That's a very important question. The way we've tried to tackle it is to ask KPMG to continue the work and to give us advice on how to clean up these parts of our pension system that don't work. So we have asked them to continue, not just to stop at the issue of police pensions. We only ask them to wait a while so that we take action on what they have already recommended. Working through the police pensions, and once we can get that functioning relatively well, then we have a model, and then we hope that they will move to the other pensions offices and also have a look at these and give us advice, because that's what they are good at. You know, this is a premier accounting firm and they know about pensions management. So it will take them a little bit of time to go office by office in the legacy pensions offices to sort out these problems and see if these same problems are the same across the board, or whether different pension offices have somewhat different problems. And then we would come with a set of recommendations for how to manage this in a way that safeguards the system from fraud. Thank you.
Okay, let me ask you finally before you leave. In the light of what you've just said, and also in the light of our feeling, as we've also expressed, how would you look at a situation where 480 billion is spent, million is spent for 2 months instead of 80 million naira allocated or budgeted for a whole year running of the pension office?
Well, Mr. Chairman, I would obviously look on it. I think everybody knows, the drive for efficiency and effectiveness that has to come from the office of the Minister of Finance. And therefore, one would have to look on it very carefully, because that is quintupling or so of the amount that is normally used. So we need to check into what is the cost of such a huge increase in expenditures for the administration. Yes, I would definitely look at that, and that's one of the things that we're looking into.
Minister.
To assist us, please.
Will be the procedure for an officer who has the limit of 80 million naira per annum but needed more money to do his work? What is he supposed to do in terms of asking for more money rather than taking the liberty on his own, to go and spend as much as he wanted to?
Well, thank you. I think that issue starts from this beginning. Budgeting. You have to have a proper budgeting for the needs of an office. It cannot be that your office spends 480 million and then you budget for 80. So there must be proper discussion with the budget office and proper budgeting to begin with. Now, if there is something that happens during the year outside your control that then necessitates more funds, it is appropriate at level to apply either to Mr. President, to apply to the budget office, to the Minister of Finance, to say that something different has happened that has increased the cost of running that office. A proper investigation would be made into the increases, and where there is justification, an attempt would be made through the budget office to find the resources to make the work happen. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Maybe a parting word. Please, I'm happy that you've come with the Director General of the Budget Office. In view of the fact that we are mopping up or you, because we are not part of it, we were in the legislature, you are mopping up the system, especially the pension funds. We would like you to try and see what kind of provision, even in a separate account, that could be met in this year's budget, so that by the time we re-verify the existing pensioners who are suffering, because there are so many of them, there are so many of them yearning for their payment, so that by the time you get them verified, maybe biometric gotten, and then you have the figure, you can always or immediately move funds to make the payment. So that's what I would want to leave you with. Thank you very much.
Mr. Chairman, sorry if I...
Yes, Honorable Minister, I must say I'm really impressed and touched by your statement in respect to your feelings for pensioners. And you did say that you're doing something to make sure that the problem is addressed. And of course, in addressing the problem, time is of the essence. I want us to be told the time frame within which you are likely to do this, one, particularly how well and how quickly you can seamlessly dovetail the old pension system with the new system as required by the Pension Reforms Act, which obviously, if properly implemented and followed up, will take away all these problems. Can we have an idea of the schedule that you're talking about? Because this is a problem that has been there for quite a long time. This is a problem that has given virtually everybody across the country a lot of sleepless nights and all that. And in view of the fact that you do realize that it's a major problem, which Mr. President himself realizes and you do support, can we have an idea of when we can get this thing properly tidied up?
Yes, I think, if you don't mind, most states would like to join PENCOM, but the problem now is that the debts they are owing and the procedures they are required to comply with insists that they must clear all debts. And they always say that federal government is owing so much and so on and so forth. And there will be difficulty in clearing these debts so that they can easily join PENCOM. I don't know what can be done to enable them clear these debts and subsequently join PENCOM, because without joining PENCOM, I don't think this problem can easily be solved. We'll continue to have these problems.
Okay, thank you, distinguished Senator.
To add a rider to that, please, our minister, we would also like to know, because Nigeria is one nation, we have the same market, federal pensioners and state pensioners. What would you do in the, assuming that the federal government cleans up the payment and the states are still owing the pensioners both pension and gratuity? What would be your recommendation in making sure you clean up the entire system?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I believe that some of these questions are better dealt with PENCOM, are available also to be able to give advice on the best way to move. So I would like to, we are trying to schedule a meeting with PENCOM on some of these issues to discuss with them. So I don't have an immediate answer for you on how we would do that. But I think they need to be brought in because they are the regulators of the pension system. But in terms of payment of pensions, we have tried to make sure, Mr. Chairman, that there's no that we do not delay. We pay the pensions or the police pensions account on time, and we're really trying to work fast because it's not the duty of the Minister of Finance to administer pensions, so that we can move the system back to where it belongs. So we've tried to ensure timely payment each month, and I brought all the payment slips with me So the committee should be assured that absolutely no intention to make any pensioners, undergo undue hardship. And we will continue to make sure that that is the case.